Are you looking to elevate your brand's presence? Partner with Cancel This Show with myself, Vic Faust, and my co-host,
Megan Marie. We're ranked in the top 10% globally.
Our show has reached over 1.68 million engaged listeners, and we continue to grow monthly.
Podcasting is one of the best ways to advertise
because it offers a highly engaged audience, SEO-targeted reach,
and the ability to build a personal connection with listeners.
Dive into the dynamic world of cancel culture, politics, all current events, and the latest news with us.
It's the American taxpayers that are having to pay for all of this monkey business left and right.
Look at all of these pictures. They are using AI to generate fake photos, and we show you them. And Joe will show, we got a video of one, we've got certain pictures.
They were hiding the fact and trying to lie to the American people for months that Joe Biden was doing well.
This is Kamala. This is Joe Biden. It's Barack Obama. It's Jake Sullivan, all together doing anything and everything they can to strike back at Donald Trump because he continues to kick their ass.
If that doesn't make you mad enough to vote one way or another in this election, nothing will do it.
Get your company's voice heard, your brand recognized,
and the exposure you deserve.
Does your brand align with our mission?
Let's talk and make an impact together.
Good morning.
Welcome into the show. We appreciate you joining us. You're here for Cancel This. We don't need the other intro. That's enough intros for today. Vic Faust, Megan Marie Brett, Eric Johnson in the house. It is November 26th. We are glad that you're with us. The news headlines, politics, the cancel culture education, everything post-election as everything smells better, tastes better, everything looks better, everything feels better, everything is better, that Donald Trump has won the presidency. And even though he hasn't been sworn in, his power is already making its presence. Eric Johnson with us, Megan Marie, Vic Faust, Pro Joe alongside as we try to make sure that everything looks good today. We are grateful that you're here. You guys ready to rock and roll? Eric Johnson joining us on a Wednesday.
Well, this is my Thursday.
It's Tuesday.
This is my Thursday.
Yeah, that is right. That's your Tuesday.
I know.
This is my Thursday.
What did we do? What did we do to
Well,
get this? I mean,
I hate, I'm going to be real honest. I hate Thanksgiving week. I can't stand it. It's the most disgusting week of the month. I can't stand
you don't
turkey.
know this. To happen.
I hate turkey. I cannot believe people actually eat cranberries. I think that stuffing is disgusting because everybody puts onions in it for some reason.
Celery.
What else? Celery. And it's food that you wouldn't go to a restaurant and eat, but yet you eat it on one day a year, and you're supposed to act like you like it. Come on, man.
Okay,
and
what
it
about
screws up the entire week.
Mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes?
Whatever. I'll go to I'll go to Boston Market for that.
Megan, is Boston Market still alive? I don't even think they're alive.
I know that I'm not the only one that thinks this. You've been brainwashed to think that you like Thanksgiving. Don't lie. The only thing that's worth a crap on that day is the Detroit Lions playing.
When Eric first said this, I went, the first person I've ever met who does not like Thanksgiving or turkey. And then our Facebook lit up with like 5 people like Eric.
And
that don't like turkey.
And it's the beginning of the compulsory money spend for Christmas, which I cannot stand. And no matter what you think, any gift you give to someone else, unless it's really special, no one cares. They put it in a box.
You're right.
They put it in a box at the end of the little Christmas tour that you go on.
Eric,
and they never look at it again.
But here, you know what I love about Thanksgiving though is that there is no gift giving, so there's no pressure to buy gifts.
Oh, there's pressure.
No, well, you're right when you say that it starts the marathon of spending money and gift giving and stuff like that. But it's such a great day to just no gifts expected.
Yeah.
There's nothing expected.
No, there is gifts. There are gifts.
Hey, look,
and I'm surprised you don't know this because
go on, Vic.
Here's why.
What?
On Thanksgiving, because haven't you told you don't if you go to somebody's home?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to show up
empty-handed. But that's not just Thanksgiving.
That's a gift. No, that's a gift.
That's not just Thanksgiving.
I know.
People, if you're invited over somewhere, look, you don't show up empty-handed.
And there's a lot of people that are on a 3-house tour. There's some people that start their tour at like noon and
you go to 8. You go to Wine Palace or whatever it's called, and you buy, and you just keep them in your car.
Yeah.
You throw the bottles of wine in your trunk. Every time you go somewhere, you just put out a bottle of wine, even if it's Boone's Farm. You came.
Boone's Farm.
You brought.
You know what Boone's is.
Get a Zima. What?
Yeah.
You can, Eric.
Do they make Zimas anymore?
Eric, in Mexico, but Boone's has rebranded itself.
Did it?
Darn right they
You
did.
can buy Boone's at gas stations, and
my Lord,
they've got a nice can. Oh, I saw it a couple
What
days ago.
about Purple Passion?
Here's a buzz ball for you.
Did that make
I've
it
seen the
frown?
buzz balls.
Anyway, you just don't go anywhere empty-handed. You just don't. You just
See, now,
you
so
just
getting back
don't.
to my point is, if you're going somewhere on Thanksgiving, you're still required to
that's
bring
just an
something.
automatic.
It's a day of
That's-
disgusting crap because you have to, every house you go to, you have to eat enough so the hostess thinks that you liked their food, yet knowing that the next one you're going to eat more, and then maybe even a third house for the day. And and I almost spilled my coffee, but here's the deal, and that's how pissed I am. Is that you have to understand, you have to pace yourself. It's something that you would rather not do. I'm serious. I love my parents. I love seeing everybody on Thanksgiving, but my God.
Well, show up
Come
with
on.
like a 12-pack of hot dogs next time and just say, you know what, this is what I'm giving. This is what I'm contributing. Throw these on the grill for me.
I've gone to Thanksgiving dinners where where women have when you bring something. Here's one that I saw. You have family members and friends, and they come over, and like you guys said, you have to bring something, right? Well, they all brought their own stuffing.
What?
They all brought their own stuffing over. There was 3 pans of stuffing.
That's right. Now we're
and the
getting
hostess took 2 of the pans of stuffing and stuck them in the refrigerator and didn't even let them come out because she was so offended that other people brought stuffing over.
Now
we're hitting it.
Settle down on the stuffing, people.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Anyway, I digress.
Well,
you guys
here, let me just challenge you to change your way of thinking for Thanksgiving, Eric. Maybe next time when you go. So just go and just be like, you know what? I started intermittent fasting, so I'm not going to eat today. Okay,
You're
there
smart.
you go. So you look really extra healthy, starting over.
Here's my keto.
What?
Here's my bottle of keto. Whatever it is.
Well, okay. So just start with that. But it's such a great time for everybody to talk about what you've been thankful for in the past year.
There are positives.
And I even make my kids do it too. And then what you are going to be, or what you want to happen in the next year.
I love it. You see, you're a good mom. You're a good mom.
Do that.
Yes.
Forget about the Cowboys and the Indians and the Pilgrims and all that.
And the Detroit
just
Lions.
Be what you're thankful for.
Yes.
Okay? That's it. And
then
you get
it's easy.
Then you get in a food coma. You kick back. You watch some Lions.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. We appreciate it. Welcome to Cancel This, guys. CancelThisShow.com. That's Eric Johnson, Megan Marie Brett. I'm Vic Faust. Okay. You know what I'm thankful for? We got some awesome stories coming today. Tom Homan, the new border czar, is going to be at the border today. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Andrew Bailey, Missouri's Attorney General, now being mentioned as the front runner for FBI director. And the reason I know this is serious is because his media relations woman, Maddie, and Andrew would join us on a monthly basis. They've gone silent for about a week and a half. And when you call Maddie, you get her voicemail. And then it says, voicemail is full.
Yeah.
So something's going on. Andrew Bailey is going to be the next FBI director. Has to be. According to Fox, those are the rumblings. Very interesting.
That is very interesting.
It's great.
And he has been terrific, kicking butt all over the place for Missouri. Will it happen? When will it happen? We're waiting to see on that. We'll talk about Andrew Bailey. Donald Trump making his presence known. I love it. This is how easy it can be to make America great again. He basically has threatened Mexico, Canada, and China, and all in a good manner. We're going to break that down. Walmart, guess what? Say goodbye to DEI that didn't earn it. Fantastic story is about ready to end. Can't wait for that. Plus, you want to talk about a story from St. Louis, I guess. Francis Howell, boys' access to girls' bathrooms.
Yeah, the school.
I think we're going to talk about
board.
radiation, but go ahead.
Yeah, school board.
Okay, so the word is Andrew Bailey. Guys, right out of the gate. Would you be happy? Yeah, I'd be happy for him. But would that take him away from possibly being governor of Missouri?
No.
At some point in time?
No. Eric Schmidt or Bailey could be governor of this state at any time. They're both young enough to do it. But if you're in the federal level, don't you want to aspire to kind of go up that ladder a little bit? Wouldn't you want to be the senator from Missouri?
I don't know.
or would you rather be the governor? I can go agriculture in the middle of the country, or I can go make big decisions as a senator.
It's very interesting because I know a Missouri state senator who would rather be governor than a U.S. senator someday. But then I also know Josh Hawley would rather be where he is than being governor of Missouri.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So I guess it's just to each their own.
Yeah.
But Andrew Bailey, even to be put, I mean, he has not been attorney general that long for Missouri.
He's an ass kicker.
The dude,
You don't have to ass kick
long.
too long. You know what? When you go up against,
you don't have to ask it.
You know, when you awesome. when you go up against the DEI wokeness of St. Louis and beat their ass with, just smash them over the head with a bat, saying no, everything you're doing is wrong, and then being part of the Klan that wants to go in there and take over the police department as well. I mean, come on. This guy is suing the federal government, but so is Eric Schmidt.
Yeah,
I'm not Eric. They were going after the government on behalf of Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
What does not make sense? The guy is a school law enforcement official. He is a MAGA dude,
and you love it.
I love it.
So you'd love for him to do both.
And there's going to be
you think he could do
no,
both?
he can't do both. He has to resign from being he has to resign from politics to go do this. Okay. But Missouri breeds attorney general. They have 1 million people in this state that could be appointed to that job right now that would be just as good as all the rest of them. Correct? I mean, they're not going to put a liberal in there. That's for damn sure.
No.
I don't know. I just know that Eric Schmidt was very, very, very good.
Yes. Why would the one coming up behind these two want to suck?
Hawley. I mean, there's just a good line.
Right?
I don't know who the next attorney general would be. I really don't in the state of Missouri. I just know that Andrew Bailey would be, as you say, an ass kicker as FBI director. Because if there is a serious position that needs to be overhauled, it is the FBI. And that's the other part of this.
Don't be fooled, guys. This is one thing I wanted to hear you guys talk about last week. Everyone's like, oh, there's going to be retribution at the FBI and the CIA. No, listen to me. Listen to me. Whoever goes in there, Pam Bondi, whoever, they have to investigate weaponizing the DOJ. That has to be an investigation, whether it's a book on Amazon that tells everything, or an attorney general with the backing of the government saying we cannot use government agencies to go against people. And I'll give you an example. How many times has the IRS ever been used to shut people down, right? To stop them from doing something and saying, you know what? We know where your bank's accounts are, and if you don't act politically correct, we might have to go in there. When is that okay? We need to know as American citizens that everything is on the up and up. The government agencies have zero ability to come after us. Yeah. Didn't you feel? I'm going to ask you guys this. Did you guys feel a little weird during the Biden administration, during COVID, during things that, like, if I say something on YouTube, that could come back and haunt me from my life? Did you have that weird feeling?
Oh, yes. I mean, you couldn't do or say anything. You were not allowed to speak truth during that entire period of time.
And it wasn't about being censored from YouTube and Twitter and all these other Facebook. It was about, if I say something, am I going to get a phone call from the IRS?
Right. Exactly.
Did you feel that weird? That cannot happen.
Yeah.
That cannot happen.
And I think, to your point, like, especially with having Pam Bondi doing what she wants to do and having the weaponization of the DOJ and other departments doing the same kind of thing, that being at the top of her priority list, makes me wonder if that is why now all of a sudden Judge Merchan, Jack Smith, and people like that are like, oh, you know what? We're going to go ahead and we're just going to let this rest now. We're going to go ahead and we're going to let, Trump's 34 felonies, we're going to just kind of let those go now. We're going to let the J6, we're going to let all of the insurrection stuff, we're going to let it go. Not because he's not guilty, not because we think that he didn't do any wrong, but because constitutionally, that is what we have to do, because we cannot do this to a sitting president. When have they been following the Constitution of the United States, especially in the last year when it comes to Donald Trump? I think that they're all like, you know what? If we don't start, coming on to meeting them in the middle a little bit, they're going to come after us, and they're going to come after us hard because they know, especially Judge Mershon and Jack Smith, who never should have even have been on the case at all.
Yeah.
They know that they're coming for you.
Yeah.
And they need to, exactly like you said, the weaponization of our Justice Department, that should not happen.
Well, it all ties in, and you just brought it in, and we saw it yesterday. Jack Smith dropping 4 felony accounts. People, it's over. The weaponization of the DOJ, which included the FBI, is now over. Donald Trump is not serving 1 day in jail. All of the BS that we saw trying to stop him, election interference, is done. It is over. Trump, Teflon Don, got through it all.
Did you ever see Halloween, the movie?
Yes, I did.
Well, we thought that Jason was done at the end of the first one, didn't we?
So what is this? Is this about Trump or is this about Jack Smith?
It's an analogy.
Analogy about which one?
Remember Halloween 2 when he came back to life? Well, that's what I'm worried about. Is that here's what sucks balls to me is that the judges didn't go, this was an overreach. You guys have completely destroyed yourselves. Jack Smith, get the hell out of my courtroom. This is not only is it it's we are getting rid of it with prejudice, which means that it can never come back.
This is Eric's analogy because every 80s sitcom episode ended in a nice way. And it all
until the sequel.
And that's what we want, but we don't get.
Yeah.
Eric, in this day and age, for him to say, I'm done, that's a big, huge deal.
You got 2 years until the House might flip back to Democrats.
Why? But why? Why would you say it might?
Because the yin
and I might win the lottery today.
Because the yin and the yang of the House is very prevalent. And when you have 218 and you need to keep 218, it could switch back easily back.
It could, but you know why I doubt it will?
Why?
And I'm making a prediction now, is because Donald Trump is already kicking ass.
He is.
And after 4 years of total hell, not just from a financial standpoint, but every manner of what you and Megan just talked about, wondering and being afraid. And then now you get 2 years of total freedom.
Yeah.
There ain't no way in hell that House is going to switch back. Not after what we're seeing from Donald Trump.
Until they bring up abortion and until they bring up queer rights.
But abortion and queer rights didn't work in this election.
Right, but the optics, you don't know what the optics of 24 months is going to be.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's easy to say that something could happen in the future. Of course, like I said, I could win the lottery.
Yeah.
I could do this. I just think that right now going in, my God, things are so good.
Yeah. It is. Just live in the moment.
And the people who are being put in place to change this country, it's like anything we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then just think how fast 24 months goes, though.
Yeah, it goes fast.
It goes fast.
As a matter of fact, they are in that cycle right now.
I could see it more happening in 4 years than 2 years because right now the Democrats don't even have a party. They don't even have a platform to run on.
No, but have you noticed how quiet? I mean, I'm talking like you could hear a pin drop quiet with the transition team. There's nothing from Trump. There's nothing at Mar-a-Lago. There's no reporters touching him. There's no one talking to the only people out there right now that are kind of talking are the Doge dudes.
Yeah.
Which is Elon and Vivek. And that's really all you hear from. You don't hear from Pam Bondi. You don't hear from any of the picks.
I like it.
But 2 nights ago.
It's crazy.
2 nights ago, Elon's hanging out at Mar-a-Lago. He's hosting meetings at Mar-a-Lago. Just think of where we've gone with our military on the whole Doge situation about how it took longer to get the steps redone at the Pentagon than it did to build the entire Pentagon in 1940.
Or a rocket that would catch itself.
Yeah.
How amazing is that?
Elon's like, we have to change things, and we are.
Yeah.
Elon hosting meetings at Mar-a-Lago when it comes to our military.
What I think is so funny is that Mar-a-Lago, just the word Mar-a-Lago, has now become like just one
Shangri-La.
of those, the Capitol, the White House, the Pentagon. It's Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
You know, I love it. Like I'm hosting Bibi Netanyahu to Mar-a-Lago. You know, I just think it's so funny because it in itself has become this entity.
It will be the presidential library one day.
You think?
I can't. No, isn't Truman's house in Kansas City? That's you can go explore Truman's house in Kansas City, Independence. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to make Graceland look like a doghouse. It is going to in 30 years from now, that thing is going to make $1 trillion. The valuation of this house, for anybody that says differently, like the documents case up in New York, if he said it was $1 trillion, I would not refute that at all. Be like, you're probably right. Yeah, gift store over here and tickets. Okay, $1 trillion. But I think that here's the thing about Doge, getting back to Doge, and that no one ever talks about. Number one.
The Elon Doge or the Elon Vivek MTG?
The big boy, the big Doge, the big boy Doge.
The new Doge.
The big department. Here's something that no one talks about. Okay, they talk about cutting money. Check it out. The government doesn't make money. So they're in an offset right now. I would love to hear them say, here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut $2 trillion out. We're going to figure that out. I don't know how it is. They're still going to be at a deficit though, right? We're going to figure a way for the United States government to actually create money. Doesn't have to do anything to do with your taxes. It has nothing to do with fines and regulations. Because there are countries out there. Alaska is a good example. When I lived in Alaska, I got a check every year for $3,000. It came from the oil. The oil paid me as a citizen. It didn't suck money out of my pocket. It paid me. Now check it out. What if Doge?
That's because they felt sorry for you because there was no sunlight.
No, it was because of the Eskimos that were always anyway.
Eskimos.
That's the whole thing.
Wait, do Eskimos sleep naked for real?
No, but they sleep in the middle of the doorways. When you want to go to a bar, you have to step over them. But here's the deal: you have to.
Who told you they slept naked? Where did you?
Well, they naked. They I don't know.
Body heat.
Yeah.
Body heat. Instead of having
and I've never
clothes,
seen an igloo. I've never seen an igloo.
You know how hot it can get when you're laying skin to skin next to somebody.
Damn.
Right?
It's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes.
We're melting. We woke up in a vat of water.
Okay, come on.
Anyway,
everyone knows, right, that Eskimos sleep naked.
I know they rub noses.
Everybody's saying that they know.
They rub noses.
Eskimo kisses.
They rub noses.
Yeah.
And there are things about them I'll let you know after the show. But here's the deal. If the United States government, and call me Elon, if you guys could figure out a way to be money makers, whether that means taking our money and investing it in something so that we get the return, whether that means going out there as they have
Give
a lot.
Me a for instance.
All right, federal land.
Investing.
Federal land.
Okay.
Why don't we take that and go get oil out of that federal land?
Okay, that's what's going to be my next question. So why wouldn't we?
Okay, I don't know why.
Well, we're going to be drilling.
Why don't we do this? We have minerals in the ground that can create such things as lithium. We can create lithium batteries. If that is an upcoming phenomenon, these EVs, why don't the American citizens get the profit of them?
What you're saying is tap into our own resources.
Why doesn't the United States government become the biggest Amazon on the planet? And we go out and create things. We don't suck the human resources dry, and we don't go and give our money to crabs who are trying to figure out how they mate.
But now you're talking
in
sense.
mud.
Now you're talking common sense.
Look, I'm on the Doge team. Call me.
There we go.
I'm on the Doge team. I know nobody's going to give you their Social Security check. I know Medicaid people have no interest in taking less money. I get it. I know that we need to go get supersonic missiles built with the military. No problem. I do know that we got to get rid of some of these buildings in Washington, D.C., where no one's working in, by the way. We need to get some of these idiots that are working for our government, who are part of the bureaucracy, who is doing us no good. But we don't have enough money there. So, Vic, you and I are going to go out to D.C. and we're going to market products. And we're going to go out there and we're going to sell United States oil. Get it now. We're going to go out there and we're going to sell our new technologies, which are going to be clean energy. We're going to go out there and we're going to sell anything that we can and put it in this huge bank account. And we're going to offset what we spend by what we make. Why can't we do that? Why does it have to be here's a question
Eric,
for you.
that's where we're at right now. That's why DOGE was created.
Here's a question for you guys.
To do this.
Why does the United States government have to give away licenses to other companies like British Petroleum, like Exxon, to go and drill this stuff, and then to process it, and then to sell it back to us? Why can't the United States government say, nope, we're in the business of getting our own resources? And the United States.
That's where we should be. That's where we should have been all along. And I think that was one of Trump's biggest points when he was in office is he's like, drill, baby, drill. We need to start tapping into our own resources. And then you've got morons like Joe Biden that say, we can't frack. We can't do this. It's climate change. We're ruining our world. But the thing that people need to remember is that if you're going to get oil, it doesn't matter where you're going to get oil, whether it's within the United States,
federal land
outside of the United States, you're doing the same damage.
Come on, man. I just figured it out.
Guys,
call me. Vivek.
Things are already changing. This is the best part about it. This isn't old 2024. This is the end of 2024. This is the new Trump era. Get excited because now common sense is prevailing. Department decisions are being made with some brains. We've got somebody steering the ship again, and we saw another point of it yesterday. Donald Trump, this should have been done with, you said Joe Biden, but guess what? Donald Trump comes out yesterday, says, hey, Trudeau, hey, Mexico, I'm going to give a 25% tariff on all goods. This is massive. 25% on all goods coming into the United States if you don't take care of our border. So Trump put that out on Trump's social last night. Within 2 hours, guess who was phoning his residence at Mar-a-Lago? Justin Trudeau.
Buddy.
This is how you get things done.
Yep.
By all accounts, it was a terrific phone call. Trump explained the situation. Trudeau said, I've got it. Donald Trump says it's time to take care of that northern border and that southern border. And Trump said, oh, yeah, by the way, while we're talking tariffs, I'm putting a 10% tariff on you, China, day one, because you did not honor your agreement to invoke the death penalty in China on drug dealers and stop fentanyl from coming into our country via our borders.
Yes.
China, you're going to be back on your knees where you were for 4 years ago, and things are changing. That's all it took. One Truth Social freaking post. Yeah. And you have countries going, okay, sorry. Boss is back in town. That's amazing.
Yeah. Yep. And you have this cabinet coming in that has no ability or no need or want to go on to the talk shows on Sunday and say, well, you know what, they are going to be lockstep with the president. You might not hear from the president Trump at all. Here's what
before Inauguration Day? Is that what you're saying?
Ever.
So back in the old days, he was very undisciplined. I think everybody can agree with that.
I agree.
He would show up in the press room and he would just want to talk. And he would get in a fight with Jim Acosta and it would make him look bad. He has a new he has new advisors that say, we are the gatekeepers. We're keeping that junk away this time. If you agree, we will be here as your helpers. And he agreed. Yeah. So he is now going to be set apart from the morons in the liberal press. They won't have access to him anymore. Kind of like we didn't have access to Biden. But this is in a good way. You know why? Because he's got 45 people who are not afraid to get on the Sunday shows.
They're surrounded. Well, and they're surrounding
Pam Bondi is not afraid to get on at all.
And the great thing is those people surrounding him have been surrounding him before they were appointed, before he said, I want you to do this for me. And that's what's so beautiful about who he has on his team. These people, they love him and they love what he wants to do. They love his policies, what he wants to do and the leadership for this country. And that's what is so organic about these folks that are going out.
In the old days, you would have the DOJ kind of sort of fighting with the Department of Justice. You would have, you know what I mean? And then in the middle of the Department of Justice, you would have a special counsel who was going after Trump because of some ridiculous garbage. And so when you have that, you have a system that's not well oiled. No one's really working well together. The cogs are kind of broken, so the engine doesn't run. This time, he has made it so that the engine is well oiled. All the cogs are going to be lined up perfectly. He won't have to do crap anymore. And I guarantee you, we will not see him as much in front of the press.
The ceasefire in the Middle East is already being talked about seriously.
Gosh,
on top of all of this, and it's not January 20th. And you see what's happening with the deep state in our country, obviously trying to push World War III in Ukraine and Russia. Oh, yeah, we're going to give you some nuclear weapons now, Ukraine, because our deep state within this country knows that Donald's changing things.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Donald Trump didn't have 80% of the vote. His popularity, I bet, will skyrocket. It's going to. We're going to see people change. Lives are being changed already, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the pieces of the puzzle being put into place.
Whose job is it going to be to keep the voters up to date with your life is better? Don't forget this in 2 years. Elections coming up. Don't forget where we needed
it should be legacy media.
Yeah.
That's
well, no,
it
it's not going to be.
I know, but that's who should be keeping people
legacy
informed.
Media, state-run media is going to tell you how bad your life is.
It's going to be dead. I'm with finally,
even though it's dead.
I'm finally with Vic. It's done. I mean, when Comcast says we're going to keep properties, but the cable news shows we're getting rid of, there's something going on. When ABC is trying to figure out how to put on conservative voices, you don't know how to do that. Are you that stupid?
When Mika and Joe, and I promise I won't stay on this long, but when Mika and Joe go down to Mar-a-Lago and basically kiss Trump's rear, when stuff like that happens, they know they're in trouble.
Well, it's their own fault. Because they shouldn't have they should have been able to bring up one or two good things that Trump did on their little morning show every now and then.
They were like children.
If they would have done that, then they would have had carte blanche access to Trump right now. So let's talk. But they didn't. They were a show that was a freak show. It was just like
they're all freak shows. And if I would have been Trump, I would not. I don't know. I'm trying to get to that place of forgiveness and not retribution and revenge. But I don't know that because the things that they were saying about him and the attacks that they made on that man every day, over and over and over. If Mika and Joe would have said, "Can I come talk to you?" I would have been like, you know what? No, not yet. Just like when with this whole thing with the transition with the first ladies having people over for lunch, and they wanted you guys, what is wrong with me? Trump's wife.
What are you talking about? Melania?
Melania. Yeah. So when Melania said, "No, I'm not coming to lunch," I loved that.
That was pretty hardcore.
I loved it because she was, setting a precedent.
Yeah, but she wasn't mean in her response.
She wasn't.
And that's why
she was elegant and she was classy. But what she did, and it all came down to the whole documents case.
Yeah.
What they did when they came for the documents and how they did it, it was ugly and it was bad. And that's why
she didn't like them going through her underwear drawer.
Exactly.
I get it.
Yeah.
No, but
and
is
what
anyone
they did
else
to her panties.
so excited about this whole Jack Smith thing with the whole documents thing?
It's all about
and J6
change.
Yeah.
Life is changing. Life is changing in America, and it's all good. We're already seeing it. Not only that, guys, then you have Walmart come out yesterday. I mean, this is how big things have gotten.
I love Walmart.
Walmart is now saying they are ending any DEI practices that they have. People, this is the best of times.
Yes.
I mean, they say that they're joining Lowe's, Toyota, Ford, saying that they're rolling back that diversity, equity, inclusion, as we know is the dead end situation. So they have 1.6 million people, and now they're going to become the largest company in the United States to eliminate DEI programs. And guess what they said? Here was their quote. "What we're trying to do is to ensure that every customer, every associate feels welcome here to shop and feel like they belong." Meaning that DEI made people feel like maybe we didn't belong here if we're not a person of color. Maybe something's wrong. So Walmart said, yeah, we're done with that. We're done with DEI just like everybody else. Thank you, Walmart. And we give you credit.
Yeah.
I don't even understand where the whole exercise came from. I mean,
Obama.
In my day, if you wanted to win a championship, you went out and got the best quarterback.
Yeah,
you got the best quarterback, right? You didn't care if your tight end was a Chinese dude that was 5 foot tall. You wanted to make sure that you had a corn-fed Alabama guy that played football every single day of his life, and that had nothing to do with DEI. That's the best guy for the job,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, it's such.
There isn't.
it's such a true story. If you want to win the game, and all these companies are super competitive, I think Walmart knew that in the time span of a few years, they could really start to nosedive when other companies would come in, do what Walmart does better, because they have better leadership, because they have better managers, because they have better talent. I think that they understood we need to get, because I don't remember seeing them promote DEI that much.
No, and they didn't.
I didn't, but what they're saying is behind the scenes, we had a bunch of that garbage and we're getting rid of it.
It's all the woke.
It's over.
It's all the woke stuff. The woke is dead. Woke went broke and it's gone.
Jaguar's the only one I can think of trying to do that garbage anymore.
Terrible.
You know what's interesting about this whole thing is that on my birthday, you get gift cards and
her
things
birthday
like
was
that.
Sunday by
Oh, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
You could have brought your guitar in to sing,
but
tomorrow. Are you going to come back tomorrow?
Yeah.
You can sing with me tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you get these gift cards, and I have not walked into a Target in probably 3 years because of the whole woke DEI. I haven't bought a pair of Nikes in years either, which those used to be my absolute favorite running shoe ever. Haven't. But you've got companies like Walmart that they're taking advantage of this. They saw what happened to the Targets of the world for cramming all of the woke ideology down people's throats.
And by the way, somebody from our chat line says that Target's doubling down on woke. Good luck, Target.
Is that right?
But Target, but if that's true, Target's their dividends, they're going down. They're not making money.
Well, because they're on the margins already.
They are on the margins, but they took a huge hit.
Yeah.
They took a huge hit. What was that? A year and a half ago? They took a huge hit.
A year and a half ago.
And so now you've got, Walmart, and it's like, Walmart to me, when you walk in there, is like, you know what? You're welcome, everyone. I mean, it doesn't matter where you're from, what size you are. You can
what
have
you're wearing.
You can have
Birkenstock
teeth.
Sandals. Who cares?
You can have no teeth.
Yeah.
You can, whoever you are welcome. But at the same time, they're not trying to cram anything down your throat. There's a little bit of something for everybody at Walmart. And that's what I appreciate about it, without trying to.
Nothing's better than the videos of people at Walmart.
That's what I'm saying. Welcome, everyone.
Go check that out online if you haven't
You
yet.
can, anything goes at Walmart.
You'll see Eric there.
Yeah. Yes, with very odd outfits.
They are not prejudiced in the consumers, is what I'm saying, at all.
And you shouldn't be.
And I love that. No.
Shouldn't be. Here's one thing I will say, though, is the era of exporting everything over to China and Indonesia was probably, I think that was the late 90s. And basically what it was like, ooh, look at all this. Because back when I was a kid, commercials that said made in America were there. You would look you would look under your product, you go, made in America. This thing's worth something. Now they said, well, you know what? If we get this thing made in Korea, it'll be a lot cheaper. And they did that. Now the quality of things has fallen so far down the garbage hole. I think we're going to be in this enlightened period, because I saw this. There was a Redland Cotton thing that was on Fox and Friends the other day. And you know what it was? They brought all of their quality cotton-made products out, mattresses, or not mattresses, but bed covering, shirts. And I was looking at it over camera, mind you, and going, that looks good. That is
I've seen it.
That's not how Walmart garbage looks. That might be a few more dollars, but I want that. I think the Made in America thing might be making a comeback starting in a few years.
No, and it should be, but everything's changing. Just like Megan was saying, you've got things changing on the financial level. You got things changing with the woke ideology. You got things changing at the border. Hell, you got Tom Homan, our borders are going to the border today and saying, we're not waiting. We're not just, they're attacking this issue even before Trump's in.
Yeah.
All of these things are trying to change. And I think Americans are seeing it. And even if Americans don't want to give Trump credit, I think they're going to have to privately. They're going to be enjoying their lives. But at the same point in time, that's a huge deal. Thinking about the border from that standpoint.
Yeah.
Two of my favorite people at the border today, Greg Abbott and Homan.
You could not have asked for a better guy for border czar. I'm sorry. Holman
he's amazing. But for Greg Abbott, that guy has tried relentlessly. Texas governor has tried relentlessly for years to get help,
and every time he would get one step forward, they'd pull him, 10 steps back. They tied his hands. Every time he would try to put more buoys in the river, every time he would try to keep parts of the wall up, every time that he would try to put more border patrol out, they just kept pushing him further down and further down and further down. And I feel I'm happy for the guy because he has never wavered. He has always said what needs to happen. And I just think that it's great that he's having the same kind of support that Trump's getting. He's getting, and they're going to make
every single one
happen.
of the cabinet members is. But here's the deal: if Holman does his job right, we will never talk about it, and that's good. The only time you talk about the border is when you're being overrun. Today at Busch Stadium, 10,000 people smashed the gates and got a free baseball game. We would hear that story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what story we wouldn't hear? Today at Busch Stadium, everybody paid for a ticket and came in. That is never a story, right?
Yeah.
So if he does his job right, it'll be like, how many people came across the border last year? Oh, we probably let 50,000 slip through, but we know where they are. We'll go get them. That's not a story, but that's the beauty. You know what's not a story? Potholes being filled.
Mm-hmm.
But is it the most amazing thing in the world not to drive down the road and not smash your car into a pothole, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. All of this stuff becomes boring after a while. It's boring from a perspective of news.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one cares that we have a secure border. It's supposed to be secure.
Well,
right?
But here's the thing: as long as they keep showing pictures like we did yesterday of a 2-year-old unaccompanied little girl that came across, and that wasn't the only little girl that was in right there at that time. There were 60 other children. They just happened to talk.
Oh no,
to
that's tragic.
The 2-year-old. So as long as they keep exposing the truth in that regard, maybe the left, or maybe people that, like you said, they're just kind of not paying attention. But as long as they keep showing the hard truths, the truths that you kind of just really don't want to see. But as long as we, keep, showing what is really going on at the border, it's not just fentanyl, guys. It's not just because the number one killer of people in the United States between the ages of 18 and 40 is fentanyl. It's not just because that's coming in, but because there's little children that are coming in here. Who knows who's pushing them over? Who knows if it's the cartel, if it's coyotes, who knows what's happening? But as long as that stuff, they keep having that in the forefront of this issue, hopefully people will start to realize how important it is, how important it was, and everyone ignored it.
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do. But Holman, he's not gonna, he's a bulldog. Not. He's just gonna keep, letting everybody know.
Yeah. He's like,
there's like 10 selections for cabinet picks.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one I'm more excited about. Seriously, which would be
Pam Bondi for to start?
I think Tom in a tight race.
I do too.
There's so many damn good picks.
I would like to see Pete Hegseth go in there and make the military get recruiting up again, because I think that it's like our guys do not want to join the military because they think, man, it's woke.
Only one
it's
branch.
Toxic masculinity.
Only one branch is meeting quotas right now, and that's the Marines. There isn't another branch that is meeting their quotas. They're way off their quotas right now.
Yeah. Well, do you think that our boys being 19 years old, Vic, do you think that after watching the commercials that they've had out for the last year for joining the military about people having 2 moms and 2 dads and having rainbow hair and everything like that? Now, what about those kinds of commercials or recruiting commercials speak to the average normal young person that is at that age where they're making decisions? Am I going to join the military? Am I going to go to college? Am I going to go to the military first so it can pay for my college? All of these things. Most normal people.
You give Eric just a small budget and you let him put together some military commercials for recruitment.
Oh yeah.
You watch what happens to our enrollment.
All you got to do is put a GoPro in a jet and say, United States Air Force, come join the air or the sky.
We had the best Army commercials, Navy commercials until 2013, 2014. and it was Barack Obama.
But Biden and those guys, they don't believe in recruitment. They're not going to go out there and say, let's do the flyovers on the stadium. Let's not go out there on 4th of July. Let's not put them on the college campuses. That was the big disgrace to me. Don't let them on the college campuses. When I heard that, I'm like, what? When I heard them not being able to advertise at football games or whatever I was like, what?
Yeah.
This is look. The military should be as much as as valuable as oxygen in this country. It's what's protected us over the last 200 years. It's what's made our industrial base grow. I mean, everything about the military is solid as a rock. We should be always promoting them. When they tried to infuse, hey, yeah, we'll have transgendered in the same foxhole as you, and we'll worry more about that than teaching you how to be in a damn foxhole. I thought, man, we got a problem here.
Chris says, just get the director of Top Gun Maverick and let him make recruiting commercials.
Amen. Yeah. But the visualization of the military sells itself. Let it flow.
Yeah.
You know,
well, and that's why Donald Trump said, that he is going after the DEI and the military. He's going against the transgenders. It's not just because these people are transgender. We touched on that a little bit yesterday, but it's not because he's going in and he's trying to be prejudiced against anyone. He's going in and he's saying, look, this needs to be about the military. This needs to be about protecting our country.
We're over talking it.
Take all your other stuff out.
We're over talking it. I'll tell you why.
Sad that we have to explain ourselves, just like boys and girls sports and going into locker rooms. Why do we even have to talk about it?
Here's the deal. Objective. What's the objective, right? So if I own a company that sells boxing gloves, my objective as a company is to reach men 18 to 34 that like exercise and like to box. The last thing I care about is DEI, transgender rights, because if I do, that's a nanosecond that I have to switch my attention from my focus over here to this thing. The military is that on the level that they're doing it is on crack. If I own a football team, I'm not going to take 24 minutes out of my day to talk about the rights of transgendered athletes. It ain't going to happen. As a matter of fact, anything that takes away from the objective, the goal, I'm not dealing with that. And that's where our problem in the military comes, is that they put situations together where we take we take out of our mind the objective of being the most lethal force on the planet, subsonic or ultrasonic missiles, for God's sakes, that we can't seem to bring down anymore. And we take off of our focus
and start worrying about pronouns.
Right. We started saying tonight at Elmendorf Air Force Base in Alaska is transgender night. Well, what the hell? Why did somebody even put that thing together? That's not your role. Your role is to think about being the most lethal military force on the planet. That's it.
But see, you said the word objective, and that's just it, is that a normal and truthful objective for the right is just a normal and truthful objective. The objective on the left, I don't think anyone understands. I don't think, and they've been literally they just keep pushing the line further and further and further.
But we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Their objectives. Hey, the fight isn't over.
No, the fight's never over.
We have to be aware.
In charge now.
Yeah, well,
I mean, good things are happening. That's why I'm all about focusing on the positive and watching the good that's going to happen. And we're going to continue to broadcast that because national media won't do it. Local media won't do it because they never will figure it out, because they can't figure it out, because they're being supported by sources that are against what we know was best for this country. That's why I can't wait to watch this. I'm excited as hell about where we're going to go. Now, keep in mind, I'm also a little bit worried about what's being left for Donald Trump, because 4 years is not enough to change all of the crap that's being done. However, we still have some damn good things happening.
Yeah.
And that's what you get people excited.
But we've got to be consistent in making sure that this stuff doesn't creep up, because, every once in a while, just when you think things are going, then you'll have something creep up.
Of course, it's the whack-a-mole game.
Yeah. And, more importantly is that it's going to take a long time, I believe, for especially just in our educational system to keep pushing this stuff back.
Well, what do you think about the national education being kind of vaporized
back to the states?
What do you think about that? So what is it? Linda McMahon, she's going to come out right?
Yeah, yep.
She's going to basically get rid of what is it called? It's the National education system. What is that? NES? Is that right?
Yeah,
Trump said he's going to end it.
Is that right?
He's going to take all public schooling out of DC, out of the national government, and give it back to the states.
Linda McMahon her whole job is to go fire herself.
Yeah, pretty much.
As the
maybe.
I mean, seriously, do you think she cares? No, she's going to go in there because you cannot. Here's one thing that Roosevelt said back in 1937, or I think it was. Look it up. The only thing that's dangerous about government is if it unionizes itself. You cannot have public unions having any kind of control over the people who are paying you, right? You can't. And the teachers union has been the most toxic thing.
It's like the DOJ.
It's the most toxic thing that we've seen in this country. They have too much political power. Why in the hell am I sending my kids to a school that think that as a MAGA person, I'm the biggest piece of crap on the planet? Now teach my kid about DEI and 1604 project, or CRT. Exactly. Go have, and the only reason you do it as an adult is because you have to go in and go work. When in reality, they should be, the state of Missouri, maybe, or the state, or Weldon Springs, or Ladue. Well, maybe they know how to educate your kid. Well,
and that's just it. Is I think that now it's going back to, because it's going back to the states. And that's going to not happen in every city and county, but it's, for the most part, it's going to allow for people to actually have a say in who the principals are in the school. The parents are going to be able to go to school board meetings and not be labeled a terrorist.
Yeah, my God, great point.
So it's going to allow a lot of these people or a lot of parents to have more control in what's going on in the educational system.
Right.
And that's what I mean when I say is that's going to still take a while. What they've done in the schools has gone too far. They have pushed all of this garbage, whether it's the furries or people, talking about which bathroom they prefer to go into for 25 minutes before they actually go in, crap like that. It's gone too far. And so we just have to make sure that we don't forget about
Have you ever seen a weed in your yard?
A
weed?
Never.
Okay.
I have, unfortunately.
Joe has a lot of weed in his yard.
I know he does. But a weed in your yard is how I see. This is where they better figure this out. Because if they don't get the root of this thing, because no one in this room can tell me where this came from. Not one of you guys can tell me
where it came from.
Tell me where furries came from in public schools.
It all started.
No one can tell me where did transgender get the bigger part of the pie than the rest of the kids? Where did DEI? Where did
Eric, by influences of political action committees?
Where
this has happened in St. Louis too. One of the political action committees, I used to deal with a guy. His whole mission, as he moved here, he was in New York. He's from St. Louis. He moved to New York, was to come back to St. Louis and put in as many woke policies and ideologies as, because it was their idea to tear down America. They hated conservatism.
Why? So they want to basically.
That's why, to take away conservatism.
And
guess what?
That makes sense.
Makes sense. And it was all about redistricting. At the same point, getting enough, we're going to try to change lines. We're going to try to get more Democrats in power because we feel as if we have more of an opportunity to get what we want when it comes to this ideology.
So let me ask you this then.
And it starts with, and then you have different sectors. Somebody's in charge of transgender in schools. Somebody's in charge of the abortion issue. Somebody's in charge of making sure that we're getting more money spent on North St. Louis. These are and that's what they do. And then they attack.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? He was doing a damn good job at smart.
Did you know him?
Yeah, I know him now.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that's scary about him is the fact that he is so damn smart and so level-headed. He was an assassin. He's a political assassin.
They all are assassins because you
coming in to try to take down conservatism ideology within schools and government. So those things are happening.
Everything about that liberal policy, you can make it a woe is me kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
For example, transgender. We will be here for the transgender rights. Mm-hmm. And the soccer moms of America go, yeah, we need transgendered rights. Mm-hmm. Instead of going, no, just teach the damn kids how to speak multiple languages, dumbasses.
But the bathrooms issue, didn't you want to talk about the bathrums today?
I do.
We do a show out of the St. Louis, Missouri area, but it's a national show. This is a high school in the St. Louis, Missouri area.
It is. But real quick, I want to answer your question. You're like, how did this happen? how did all of these ideologies, and I believe that most of them have a very perverse foundation, a perverse root to it, all of it, whether it's the furries, it's the transgenders, whether it's teaching all these sexuality, the drag queen, all of it. There's a perverse root to it all.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was, like you said, transgender, we need transgender bathrooms, and all the soccer moms go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess we're supposed to, we're supposed to go along with this, instead of saying, what in the world are you talking about? No, I'm going to protect my child. Just because your child is having an issue, I'm not going to surrender my normal upbringing of my child because your child is having an issue. It's
but what if the transgendered mom goes, I'll protect your rights to abortion if you help me out?
Well, we could sit down and we could.
That's where it gets bad.
Here's the thing, and that's the hypocrisy of the left. They pick and choose what they want to protect, who they want to protect. Now all of a sudden I haven't heard the word woman coming from the left in a couple of years. And now all of a sudden we're talking about women's rights, protect the body, this, that, my body, my choice. But yet you had no choice, and it wasn't your body during the whole COVID pandemic, when they were shaming you and forcing you to take the jab. Your body did not matter. What mattered was their emotions and how they felt about you. And they were scared to death that you were going to kill them if you were more than 6 feet closer to them. So they pick and choose. It's just this huge game of hypocrisy. And that's the thing that gets me boiled up about these people. And then they think that they can shame you and gaslight you. And all you have to do is just stare at them and be like, no, you know what? You're wrong. You're not going to gaslight me. You're not going to persistent. You're not going to shame me. But so in St. Louis, or actually it's not St. Louis, it's St. Charles County. Here we are again talking about, boys going into girls' bathrooms and girls' locker rooms. There was a board meeting. Woman shows up. She was the only one that said, no, this is not right. It had nothing to do with being
that what's not right.
That having boys go into girls' locker rooms.
Biological boys.
Correct. So these are 9th through 12th grade. So you've got, 13 to 14-year-olds coming in as freshmen, all the way up to, 18 years old.
Oh, this is hard. What school is this?
This is Francis Howell High.
That's where I went to school.
Okay. Right. So you know
unbelievable.
What? I don't normally pay a whole lot of attention to these little things, but this is huge because it's close. It hits home. It's happening. But
it makes no sense because there's a lot of farmers around there, and there's a lot of rural.
Yeah, but Eric, it doesn't matter.
Really?
Fort Zumwalt West the same way. In their middle school, I asked an 8th grader. And he's like, oh my God, there's lots of people who call themselves transgenders now and are looking at trying to do surgeries.
Dude.
And that's right next to Francis Howell.
That's where we're at. And so this woman shows up. It was 6-1. 6-1. She was the only one that showed up and said, no, this is not right. Wow. Why are we even having this conversation? And, I feel in whatever people's opinions are about this woman, because I've heard both. But
when was this meeting that you wanted to talk about?
This just took place, within the last week. And so I believe.
Well, December 12th is the next.
Yes. And there's another one. And that's what I'm saying is, you have to be able to speak up. But more than anything, you have to be willing to take the time. If you want to see change and you want to create change, you got to take the time. Show up to the board meetings.
And
support these people.
Again, let's invent, the three of us, the era of objective. Today is the day that Cancel This is invented. You put on the board, what is the objective? Francis Howell High School, what's the objective? To graduate as many kids at a high GPA as absolutely freaking possible. That's your objective. All right. How does entering now here's the deal. Watch this. How does entering transgender into female locker rooms? If I was a kid, 15, 16, and I was on the football team over there, and I wanted to play a prank or say I'm a transgendered kid and walk in and use that girl's bathroom, do you think I wouldn't be doing that? As a matter of fact, I knew so many of my friends would say, you're going to the principal's office because you're a male in the female's bathroom. They go, no, I'm not. I'm transgender. Do you how many of these kids would be playing that game just to wreak havoc? Come on, man. I'm telling you right now, these kids are not going to respect this, and it's only going to take away from the objective of teaching the frickin' kids how to learn, okay? This is ridiculous garbage. If you want to have transgendered bathrooms, spend $1 million, spend $1 million and put transgendered bathrooms or family bathrooms or whatever you want to call it. But guys, here's the deal. If you were built a guy at birth, you go in here. If you were built a female, you go in there. If you had some kind of weird thing go on in your life between birth and how old you are now, there's a bathroom at the end of the hall. We want you to go there. No problem. Or come to the nurse's office and use this bathroom. No problem. And then you register yourself, right? But here we go.
Here's
I'm again, trying to solve a problem that has no problem.
Here's where the left, just exactly what you said. Here's what they've done now. They have now pushed that line even further. So like you said, if you are a child that is experiencing gender identity crisis or whatever you want to call it, instead of you having that bathroom, if you identify as whatever it is, and if you go day to day and you're a boy one day, a girl one day, whatever, if you're fluid, non-binary, whatever it is, here's a restroom for you. So the discussion ends there. No, they don't want the discussion to end. And they also want their children to be, quote, treated normal. So making them go to a bathroom that is labeled for someone that is maybe not atypical, then that's shaming them. They will just push and push and push. So you just solved the problem, Eric. You just said exactly what should happen. But now what happens is it's not enough because now their kid's not normal. Look, we already know your kid's not normal because they stood outside the restroom and talked about how they don't want to go into this restroom because that's not how they're identifying.
Here's what
today.
I would say.
They've already done that.
I need to talk myself through this real fast because there has to be consequences for your son going into a chick's bathroom over at MS, where is it? Where your kid goes, but
MICDS.
MICDS. I can never remember the Catholic letters, but
it's not Catholic.
Whatever
it's
it is,
private.
Okay. So here's the deal. He goes in there. He's not in trouble because the principal goes, well, are you trained? You need to register because we're in an era of like non-binary. Maybe,
but when you're fluid, no, they're fluid.
Okay,
one day they're one thing. They just
all right, but
you're
here's
not
the deal.
Keeping up with their emotional state day to day, Eric, and you need to do that. How dare you?
Here's the deal. You need to register as a non-fluid or a fluid, whatever the hell it is, because you cannot we want to take care of your emotion. Here's a nice little emotional pet for you, but you can't. But here's the deal. You can't mess with her emotional thing either. So if this little 13-year-old girl in the locker room is offended that there's a guy sitting next to her, we got to protect her also.
Because now what they're saying about those children and the parents of those children is they're not open-minded, that they're not smart enough. Their brains are not elaborate enough.
Okay, here's the deal.
Megan wanted to talk about this just to remind everybody.
It is a fascinating thing.
This stuff is happening.
It's a fascinating thing. Okay, what about this? If I'm not open-minded to you having Peter come in as Patricia into the locker room, 10 years from now.
Stop talking about your Peter.
Right. I will. I'm good. No pun intended. Now, is it okay for me to bring my pet pig, who is my girlfriend, to school? Can I bring Betsy the pig to prom because we're dating and we're going to get married? When does the garbage stop?
It doesn't, because little by little they keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
When does the United States of America, which was founded on God and religion, and in our Pledge of Allegiance it says one nation under God, when does the morality thing start to at least get to poke its head in and go, you know what? You can't marry a pig. I'm sorry.
Why they're gonna say why?
At that Vic. So why did you want to talk just because it was 6-1?
Well, yeah, and the whole point here is that
it's in your backyard.
I'm trying to figure out, what your point is.
It's not over. So everybody's excited, and yes, we're moving into a new era, if you will, which is very exciting.
No, it's not a new era. It's that they're not going out. They were defeated. The sentiment is gone. Non-binary, transgender things are losing all over the board. Mm-hmm. It has to stop.
Make mental institutions great again.
No, this is what I'm saying.
And again,
funny, not funny.
Let's not get too comfortable.
No, here's the deal. And I will never stop saying this. When I was in 1987, we would walk to the jocks. I had my Letterman's jacket on, and I had my Francis Howell jersey on game day. I had the cheerleaders with the pom poms, and you would walk to the end of the hall, getting ready to go to history, and there would be a bunch of emos sitting there because they felt out of place. Mm-hmm. And they were emotional, mm-hmm. and they didn't want, and they had the white skin, and they were not part of you. I have my feeling. I didn't see any transgendered back in 1987, not one. Mm-hmm. But I think the transgender thing, and I am not a psychologist, and I don't want to say something stupid, and I feel sorry for everybody that has a problem. I do. I feel sorry for people that are in pain. I do. No problem. Mm-hmm. But I think that this is a temporary emotional thing that they feel wrapped up in that is something that you go to your counselor for.
We didn't get here overnight. It's not going to leave overnight.
Yes.
You just have to stand your ground. Know that you're in the majority. You are not in the minority.
Mm-hmm. And Eric, to your point, I work with children very closely every day, most of which have issues, whether it's transgender, whether it's, just identity crisis, whether it's that they've been mentally, physically, sexually abused, all of these different things. And I also work with children that are, I don't want to say normal, because what's normal, I don't know, but children that, don't have the same issues. And both groups of these children matter. Both matters. And
definitely.
It does.
Yeah.
But at the same time, two things can exist at once. Just because we have children that are experiencing these, non-typical issues does not mean that we have to ignore the children that are healthy.
I'll tell you this, when I was
normal,
when I was back in high school, I didn't want to shower because I didn't want to be in a shower with guys.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being a 14-year-old after gym showering with a girl? Oh my God. If I was a dad in Wentzville, I can't even imagine how you're living with that one.
Yeah.
Just know that you're in the majority, and don't be afraid to stand up and talk. Times are changing. It's all why Donald Trump wants to eliminate the Department of Education, because of the woke ideology. But woke is dead. There are still people who will try to push it, but celebrate our victories. Be happy, be confident, be positive, and moving forward.
I think if Breakfast Club was made today, Ali Sheedy would be transsexual.
Oh, she'd be nuts.
If Breakfast Club was made today, I think Ali Sheedy would be a tranny.
She'd be tranny emo.
What? Right?
Tranny emo. What else?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, if it was made today, if it was made today, she would be a very confused individual.
She's confused. That's for sure. Yeah.
And it's not that we didn't like her, because I did like her.
I know. Did you hear me say Mrs. Doubtfire Tanya? Is that why you said that?
Yeah.
By the way, we're doing a show tomorrow. Yeah. You're more than welcome to show up if you're bored tomorrow, Eric.
Unless that's why I'm here right now.
Oh yeah. So it'll be me, and I'll be here tomorrow. We'll see everybody bright and early, 9 a.m. Can't wait to see you guys. Eric will not be here, and I don't blame him.
Well, how do you know?
Oh, I thought you just said that's why you're here today.
Well, who knows? I mean, tomorrow night we're playing at Helen Fitzgerald's for Skanksgiving.
We're thankful for you. So could you please be thankful for us?
If I don't have to eat turkey.
No, we will not make you eat turkey
or cranberries.
Before we get out of here, I wanted to,
especially in a can,
give a special thanks to our advertisers, Complete Auto Body Repair, CompleteAB.com. Check them out. If you need something done with your vehicle, they're going to get you in. They're going to get you out. They don't nickel dime you. Check out CompleteAB.com. Once again, CompleteAB.com, and let them know that you appreciate them advertising on CancelThisShow.com. Our good friend, Dave Gregory, Missouri's conservative injury attorney, is conservative injury lawyer. conservativeinjurylawyer.com, conservativeinjurylawyer.com. When it comes to any sort of personal injury, check him out. I used him twice. Joe has used him. That's Pro Joe has used him twice. He's going to give you 5% extra back that his company would normally get on your settlement if you bring up cancelthisshow.com. Also, if you get a chance to look at Tom James Clothing, go to b.lawler at tomjames.com, b.lawler at tomjames.com. It is the season to go out and look for something special. You can get something when it comes to clothing, when you have tons of choices and fit when you go to custom clothing, and it may shock you at how inexpensive it can be. Of course, our good friends Wenty's in the Chesterfield Valley and Defiance. Wenty's, work hard, play hard. I know you say you're going to be at Skanksgiving tomorrow night, Eric, at Helen Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Wenty's also has a big night over there. You can check them out in the Chesterfield Valley. Our good friend Marla and Ben, who've been supporting the show forever. Check out Wenty's, of course, all the great food that they have. You can get in, get out, enjoy it. Check out Wenty's. Of course, if you're looking for real estate right now, if the market changing, it's Megan.Livingstone at exprealty.com. Megan.Livingstone at exprealty.com. Check it out. Don't wait for the market to change. Get your plan in place. Go with somebody who is super positive from that standpoint. Also, Eric's lighting guy, Jonathan Heslop, supports lots of conservative causes throughout the state of Missouri. When it comes to charcoal, people still grill, right? People still have grilling.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Get your charcoal, and you're going to get Rockwood charcoal. You can get it at Ace Hardware. Try not to order it from Amazon because, as Jonathan says, Amazon kills the local business. And I trust Jonathan when it comes to that. And if you really like turkey, like Eric doesn't, you check out Capriati's. They have the best turkey. They roast their turkeys overnight. They slice and dice them in the morning for all their sandwiches. They have the Wagyu beef, and they do an amazing job when it comes to catering. Check out Capriati's. They're open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Check them out. Terrific place to go and check out Capriati's over in Rock Hill. They're going to certainly take care of you. Playoffs in O'Fallon. Check out Playoffs, Detroit Mike over there. When it comes to watching great sporting events and a good time for anybody out in the O'Fallon, Missouri area, you can check them out over near off of Mexico Road, not far from Highway K and Highway 70. And we always talk about our water. When it comes to the best water infused with minerals, we're talking about clean water. Once your water becomes clean and purified, it's a liquid. It's dead. It's fine for your body, but it's just a liquid. It doesn't absorb into your kidneys and all the organs that need it. That's when you put the minerals in, the calcium that gets put in, the oxygen, the magnesium. That's what Century Water does. If you go and check out our system, you get 10% off. It's a company that we have targeted, and it's a company that we work with. Literally centuryh2o.com/discount/safe-sips. centuryh2o.com/safe-discount/safe-sips. Check it out. I use it. Many people have been using it, love it. They talk about their bodies changing because you're getting the minerals back into your body. You don't want the nasty fluoride from tap water. Bottled water is not a great thing. You can have little plastic pieces breaking off. And once again, that water is dead water. It's not alkalized, and it doesn't stay that way. So check them out. We appreciate you guys jumping in today. Anything else? Any other updates?
No, but thank you all so much for all of your awesome comments on here and the conversations between each other that you guys are having, because you guys are flipping on it. I mean,
aren't they?
So super smart and so much appreciate everybody participating. It's awesome.
You're going to be very bored for the next few months. You're in the black hole of politics.
I don't think so.
Oh gosh, I don't think
it's
so.
Like
I'm excited. It's like all the stuff that's going on.
I know. If the boat is on the dock, and all you're doing is watching the people get on the boat right now.
Well, let's hope that nothing bad happens.
I'm just glad that you're now part of the Doge. So you can
if they want to call me.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to keep telling us what you and the Doge are doing, let us know.
I don't think you ever have saved a company by cutting anything. I think you have to make more money. So that's what they got to do. They got to figure out new income streams.
California Governor Gavin Newsom just came out today and said that his new electric vehicle tax credits include all EVs except Teslas.
Mm-hmm.
Genius.
He's such a bozo.
That is his
political
dickhead move at Elon Musk, which shows you why he is a terrible leader and why California slowly but surely is turning red.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
Yep.
It is. Did you see the electoral map?
I did, but there's too many idiots.
It takes lots of time. Yeah, it does. It takes lots of time. All right. We appreciate everybody jumping in today with us. Eric Johnson, Megan Marie Moret. I'm Vic Faust, guys. We'll see you back here again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Please like, subscribe, share the show. Let people know what we're doing. Also, if you know of any sort of businesses that want to advertise with us, sponsor us. We've got our rates that are so damn cheap right now. Limited time offers. Check us out. You can get your company's name out there. The companies that do use us, we'll get you in touch with them if you want to find out how many people actually see us, not only throughout the St. Louis metropolitan Missouri area, not only Missouri and Illinois, but across the country as well. So we appreciate you guys joining us, and thanks for any donations. You can do that at cancelthisshow.com. There's a donation button. Anything helps us as we continue this mission.
Yeah, and sorry about not being able to send the stars. So again, just go to cancelthisshow.com and you can go to donate, and it will take you from there. So we appreciate that.
Every dollar helps.
Yeah.
Are you looking down? I'm trying, guys.
You're just here, light the pyros. Light the pyros. Just light the pyros.
Are you looking to elevate your brand's presence? Partner with Cancel This Show with myself, Vic Faust, and my co-host,
Megan Marie. We're ranked in the top 10% globally.
Our show has reached over 1.68 million engaged listeners, and we continue to grow monthly.
Podcasting is one of the best ways to advertise
because it offers a highly engaged audience, SEO-targeted reach,
and the ability to build a personal connection with listeners.
Dive into the dynamic world of cancel culture, politics, all current events, and the latest news with us.
It's the American taxpayers that are having to pay for all of this monkey business left and right.
Look at all of these pictures. They are using AI to generate fake photos, and we show you them. And Joe will show, we got a video of one, we've got certain pictures.
They were hiding the fact and trying to lie to the American people for months that Joe Biden was doing well.
This is Kamala. This is Joe Biden. It's Barack Obama. It's Jake Sullivan, all together doing anything and everything they can to strike back at Donald Trump because he continues to kick their ass.
If that doesn't make you mad enough to vote one way or another in this election, nothing will do it.
Get your company's voice heard, your brand recognized,
and the exposure you deserve.
Does your brand align with our mission?
Let's talk and make an impact together.